And a very good day to you folks here on SpeedGaming 3. Welcome to the Metroid Prime 2 Randomizer 2021 tournament. We have got a busy day on tap for you folks. On this channel alone, we have a double header. Starting off the day, we've got ZChaotix versus AeroRaiser, looking to put on their skills for you. I'm Captain MD. I'm joined by Thoris Karathesis. How you doing today, Thoris?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Fantastic. It's a good day for Rando, and in case this match isn't enough of stuff to go on, we've got a match going on at 2 p.m. on Speed Gaming 6 of Lucarius Lion versus Diceron. So that is going to be some fun.
Yeah, jam-packed just for our Metroid Prime randomizer tournament because there's 4 matches today, and I think 3 of them are on restream, 2 on this channel because you are, as you said, there's a double booking and you're commentating both.
Yeah, got a free day, so might as well do help out as much as I can. But yeah, the only match we might not get restreamed, barring schedule changes last minute, is Bellator versus Reed Whaley. That will be at 3 p.m. If we do get a channel, we will, of course, let you know about that. But standard tournament settings today, no gentlemen's agreements. So, Thoris, what are you looking to see in this seed as we get things kicked off here?
I'm looking to see if it's just my bad luck generating seeds, or are just everyone's seeds just bad.
Well, we shall see. We start off with missiles in the Great Temple, so that is definitely a welcome start for a little extra DPS on Dark Alpha Splinter.
They are unfortunately going to have to leave that hint behind, though.
Yeah, they may likely pick that hint up on the way back from Alpha Splinter. Usually that first hint is either a joke or particularly useful. We shall see. But yes, hopefully some extra missiles will drop to speed up the Dark Alpha Splinter fight, as well as the Splinter fight, but we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, if you're lucky, you can get the you can get a missile refill just on the last couple of splinters there if you use them all.
Yeah, unfortunately, the drop system for running out of missiles doesn't really kick in until you get 10, so we shall have to see what happens. But it looks like AeroRaiser chose to conserve their missiles. ZChaotix will enter this fight with only 3. But yeah, nothing too crazy to talk about here, except we will just go into, for those who are just coming into the newcomers to the tournament settings, what we're dealing with today. Our runners are looking for the 9 Sky Temple keys and looking to fight the final bosses of Emperor Ing and Dark Samus 3/ possibly 4. And there's our expected Violet Translator out of Dark Alpha Splinter. ZChaotix is electing to not go back for the hint.
It's of course important to look up as you go through the next room to see what that item is.
Yeah, admittedly, I blinked and I missed what it was, but AeroRaiser will give us another look in just a moment. But it looks like AeroRaiser is going back for the hint.
I would say it looks a bit like a missile expansion, but looking from the bottom, it's quite difficult.
All right. Let's see what the hint has to say for itself today. Ooh, we have looked like a movement system in Temple Assembly Site. And a major upgrade in Portal Access A, but that's pretty typical. And it looks like, Storage Cavern B had Seeker missiles. And that is Cannonball in TAS. That's a great spot for Cannonball. It's also a safe bet that Portal Access A houses our... actually, Portal Access A can't house our missiles. It's probably missiles or Space Jump in Transport to Aegon. And a cursed lake, as usual, contains a key.
But which of our plethora of keys could it be?
We shall see for sure. And what do we have in Transport to Aegon? Our missile launcher, so that puts Seekers in play. That puts Portal Access A in play. And a visor is in Judgment Pit. Ooh, we're getting all the good hints to start things off here.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but Judgment Pit.
Yes. Alright, we got our comm stream back up. Lovely. Alright, AeroRaiser now making the way to... Arrow making the way to transport to Aegon. We're going to have to leave mining station access behind until we get an explosive.
Yep, still no bombs or power bombs to get through that bottom block yet.
I did not see what was in mining station A. ZChaotix did look up and it was in frame, but I didn't see it. Oh, I can get a better look at it now, and it looked like a dark ammo tank, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Alright, let's see what our major upgrade in Portal Access A is. It's probably bombs. Yep. So we have a pretty standard start here, you know, nothing particularly special, no space jump, but we have missiles and bombs, so we can access Bomb Guardian, we can access Aegon Energy Controller, no Amber Translator though, so no hints, which is a bit unfortunate, because the hints in since version 2.0 have been modified quite significantly, in a few ways. For one thing, there are now far less hints pointing directly at red keys. Instead, the game will now say that the keys to a particular boss are located in specific areas of the world, rather than specific rooms. And those are condensed into one singular hint.
Although I've noticed in a couple of the past matches, not great placement on hints because they're still, you know, after the fact that you get them.
Yeah, there's still a few of them, but as of late, especially the lower Torvus hints have proven to be quite the lifesaver in many races over the last 2 days in particular. I can say with certitude that the lower Torvus hints certainly bailed me out in my my first race.
Yeah, I think Echoes has one of these occasions where it's like either the hints are really powerful and really useful to have, or they're utter garbage, and it's like, hey, Dark Beam's in the temple, and it's like, well, I've just picked that up, so of course I know that.
Exactly. But Dark Beam's really good because that puts Mineshaft into logic, and we're still missing Space Jump, but Dark Beam is good to have before Labs. That was a very interesting bunny hop that dead pirate just did.
Even the pirates are trying to learn the speed tech. That's interesting.
Exactly. We have the wrong translator in the temple energy controller. Now, seeing that Emerald makes me immediately start thinking about GFMC, because Emerald Translator does put Transport A access into logic with bombs. And as chat points out, we could see Mining Station B at this point, and we're just Boost Ball away from being able to access Underground Tunnel, which technically they could get, courtesy of Cannonball.
Yeah, Cannonball being that strange temporary item you get whenever you enter and leave a cannon. we've managed to just make it permanent for a period of time until you enter a cannon again.
And yeah, we do have a question in chat about what is Cannonball. So as Thoris was mentioning, it's a state, technically item the game gives you when you enter a cannon. It's meant to be taken away from you when you hit something or exit the cannon state. But it can, through the randomizer, we've made it an item. And in vanilla game, you can normally keep Cannonball by not slamming onto something by using some out of bounds trickery. The end result is there's several properties of Cannonball. Number one is that you are immune to damage while rolling. Number two is that vulnerable enemies will take 500,000 damage per frame. Third is that you can use boost ball capabilities, however, it does not do boost ball damage, so anything you normally boost into, like crates and stuff, won't take damage. Let's get a mining plaza look at right here real fast. It doesn't look like a key.
I can't see that item at the best of times, so I'm not even going to attempt to pass judgment on the commentary.
Yeah, it should also be known ZChaotix did pick up a powerbomb expansion in transport, not transport, mining station access.
Yes.
That's the one. Now, the way power bombs are handled in the logic is that while expansions do allow you to use power bombs, the logic will expect you to have the main launcher before being able to use them, so it doesn't put like Spider's Treasure in Sankin logic just yet. We still need Light Beam and main power bombs.
I do find that very strange with the Echoes randomizer, where it's like, yeah, you can use them, but they're not considered logic. So I was like, well, what's the point giving me it then?
They do still help. They would certainly help here in Bomb Guardian. They'll help with Dark Missile Trooper. Looks like AeroRaiser is not going to do the 2-cycle strategy here on Bomb Guardian.
I think the addition of those wasps are getting in the way.
They might be. Yeah, we got a vanilla powerbomb expansion. AeroRaiser done getting swarmed by bees. And gets Dark Beam. Just a missile tank in communications area. ZChaotix is not going to do the bomb jump to check the reliquary hint.
It's a surprise for me, because usually comms area had something important.
It usually does. It's a pretty common critical area because it's only in logic with either bombs. Actually, it's not even. It's in logic with only bombs or power bombs. It doesn't need. Just power bombs is even enough because they're in the beginner standable terrain difficulty. There is a non-space jump way to get to that item without bomb jumping. And we did see evidence of that in a match this week that is in logic. I think we had bombs in comm area with space jump behind bombs.
That is a trick I'm going to have to learn then, because I did not know that.
Yeah, there's a piece of standable terrain right underneath the satellite, the comm satellite itself, that you can jump to the part of the terrain that has the same height as the bomb slot. What is that in Grand Wind Chamber? That is a key of some kind. I couldn't tell if it was red or green, though. The engines of the Flying Pirates kind of distorted it a wee bit.
I just had a look at it on the touch side of things. It looked red.
Looks red? Alrighty then. We'll have to keep an eye on that. ZChaotix taking advantage of Echo's far superior drop system compared to Prime 1 in order to grab an extra bomb drop. And we see that Quadraxis himself does not carry an item, and AeroRaiser just took a lot of pirate shots to the face.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily mean that Quad is dead, though, because we may still have to see that Umos 2 item.
Indeed.
I think Aero adding some tension with that Space Pirate fight. Wasn't close enough. Gave them a bit of a chance. Went down to 17 health.
Yeah, those Dark Pirates are very dangerous. They do 5 damage per shot, and they shoot a lot. Alright, ZChaotix has finished the GFMC dive and will now be checking Transport A access. And again, yeah, definitely this Transport A access is pretty suspicious given that we have gotten in fairly early Emerald Translator, and the game likes to place progression items behind the last one in the chain, so usually Emerald will lead to another thing. If it doesn't lead to anything here, it's certainly going to lead to something in Underground Tunnel, because as we have established, there is always progression in Underground Tunnel. Most of the time.
I definitely agree with that. My last seed, it was a light beam. There was an underground tunnel.
And this looked like a major upgrade. It is... Oh, it's a Sky Sample key, so it was required. So not a major upgrade, but still something we are looking for.
Yeah, it may not have been too punishing to come back here later.
AeroRaiser is doing some, giving us some divergence here and showing us Dark Aegon. This isn't a terribly bad idea given the circumstances. With Dark Beam in tow, you can check in Cache 4, and we can peek Judgment, Junction Site, and AeroRaiser can go get the Visor, and if it is Dark Visor on Jump Guardian, then the key in Accursed Lake will already be... I'm not sure if energy requirements are an issue, but Accursed Lake will already be in Logic. And they'll still need Space Jump, to be fair, but they'll be able to at least peek Accursed Lake's key. But it looks like...
It looks like Aero was just opening up the gate to get access to the Transport Center gate.
That's not a bad idea either. This could be Space Jump.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of players go and check that item before coming this way so that they know if it's worth it actually just come in here and activate that gate.
And chat brings up a good point. We actually still need a way back from the Dark World to go to Accursed Lake, so we need either Light or Annihilate. We need Light Beam, because we can't move the Crystal Switch. To answer a question, chat, yes, the key bearer hints tell you where originally their Dark World Sky Temple key would be. In this case, the location is the same, but the item is randomized. And ZChaotix will go and check Dark Missile Trooper. So let's see what DMT has for us today. Simple light ammo tank, unfortunately. I am surprised at that. Usually Dark Missile Trooper, more often than not, has had progression. At least the Hive Chambers in general have had progression, but we'll see what Hive Chamber B has to say for itself today. We'd also like to remind the audience that Dark Aether's atmosphere is dangerous and energized safe zones don't last forever.
Did Aero actually have a look at Crossroads there? Or I didn't see him look up.
I don't think so. Not much to put into logic either. It only needs... I mean, it's technically acquirable with Cannonball right now. But the Hive Chambers were pretty dry today. Just a Powerbomb tank and a light ammo tank. So nothing particularly spectacular. So now the next million-dollar question is, where is our Space Jump? Oh.
Where else do we have to check?
AeroRaiser has chosen to fight the Ing here. Bit surprised at this. It's not often we see this here in the tournament, but yeah, it turns out that Warrior Ing is tied to entering the safe zone in this room. But as it turns out, if you Dark Beam the crystal, you shrink the safe zone, and by extension, you shrink the trigger for starting the fight, and it's non-existent.
Yeah, it's the same with the Jump Guardian. If you just don't enter that light zone, the fight just never starts, which is really handy if you have to get to do like the early strategy. And it's like, yeah, you just go around the back and bomb jump up.
Ooh, and there is boost balls, so Crossroads is in logic. Wow, this has actually been an annoying dip, like repeated dip of Dark Aegon here. You know, Transport Center didn't have any progression, to be fair, but you have to go to Incash 4 to get Crossroads. That's pretty rude.
As well, no suit and no energy tank, so you have to be careful of your energy and knowing where your health drops are.
Absolutely, and yeah, sometimes you may just have to pray to the Prime Drop. Pray to the Prime Drop system, excuse me, that you'll get that gold drop if you're below 20% HP. It's very likely, it's like 80%. Ooh, that was Screw Attack in Junction Site.
Definitely worth coming back to once you find that spider wall, providing it's not an underground tunnel.
Well, if it is an underground tunnel, we can just go get it. AeroRaiser has boost and Seekers. Alright, so Arrow is going to attempt the double bomb jump to try and get to Jump Guardian's cheese spot before fighting. Arrow is playing very carefully here, and I don't blame them given the energy scenario. But yeah, what you're seeing AeroRaiser do is shoot at seemingly nothing. But as it turns out, Jump Guardian is there. We just can't see him. And unfortunately, unlike most games, this is a case where if you can't see it, it is still there. So AeroRaiser is going to try and do the equivalent of 1100 damage, which is, in this case, 50 giant lemons. Not 50, 22 giant lemons. And hopefully Jump Guardian will go down in one hit.
Yeah, you just can't kill him. You can reduce him to 1, but can't get him any lower.
Thankfully, it's nothing a lemon can't fix. But yeah, what I meant to say was that a giant lemon does 50 damage.
This is one of these things. If you look through the 100% route, if you look at the notes, you can see which part is Jump Guardian because there's just a big list of. You have this many missiles, it takes this many charge beams. If you have this many missiles, it takes this many charge beams. It's always quite cool to look at.
Yeah, and as Chad does point out, it is faster to technically interlace this with missiles, because that'll increase the damage per combo to 80. Because missiles do 30 damage, but looks like Jump Guardian's down to one more big lemon. Unfortunately, Jump Guardian is in the argumentative phase, but luckily that actually also makes him a bit more predictable in the sense that Jump Guardian will not travel to the upper ledge at any point. And the visor we are given is Echo. Echo visor with Screw Attack. I don't know what was in Mining Plaza, but that's alarming.
No reason to be concerned just yet, because I still don't have access to that Amorbis fight without those keys.
That is true. We have not seen a singular red key yet, or a single picked-upable Amorbis key, I should stress. AeroRaiser deciding to bail out and go back for health. Deciding the other problem is doing that room without space jump is just not fun. Looks like Arrow's going to give it another shot after picking up that red energy drop.
Again, this is where standable terrain or standable enemies actually come into it, because you can stand on those ink pods.
You can. It's easier, to my understanding, it's easier getting... Oh, and there you go. But yeah, with no energy tanks, you only have 16.5 seconds in the Dark World, since you take 6 damage per second on Various Suit.
It definitely looks a lot easier that way around versus going towards Jump Guardian, because the ink pods are much further back.
It is, yeah. The way back is easier than forward. Arrow has been getting some very lucky drops to in order to stay in one piece for tankless Dark Aegon. Alright, we'll see if AeroRaiser decides to go back for Crossroads with Boost Ball in tow. Or, I think actually... Well, yeah, no, we could have progression in Underground Tunnel right now, so checking Crossroads real quick actually sounds like a really good idea. Because it's essentially right around the corner. Alright, ZChaotix is shooting Jump Guardian from the back. From far back to the end of the arena. It doesn't matter where you shoot from, as long as you hit Jump Guardian, it doesn't matter. Ooh, Arrow almost made it on the ledge, but slipped out.
Bisball likes to troll.
Alright, and what, pray tell, what does AeroRaiser find in Crossroads for us today? And it is our Space Jump boots. That's rude. You literally have to double dip Dark Aegon for Space Jump. Now the question is Arrow going to make a quick pit stop in the broom closet? Does not look like it.
Like, do you still go to Underground Tunnel with this, or do you consider going to labs?
You know, with Boost Ball in tow and Dark Beam, a good chunk of Upper Torvus is in play right now. We have Underground Tunnel, we have a Power Bomb expansion line about, so we can check Torvus Grove. With Space Jump, if we get Spider Ball, we'll be able to check Meditation Vista soon after, but once we pick up Junction Site, but even still. There's a couple of things open for us in Upper Torvus. Oh, wait, they need Light Beam to get to Great Bridge, so they can only check Forgotten Bridge, and they can't even get to Torvus Grove anyway because they need Light Beam. Which could just be an Underground Tunnel. We'll see what happens when AeroRaiser gets there. We also will get access to our first Emerald hint of the afternoon. And I don't know if it's just me, but the Emerald hints, as of late, have been exceptionally valuable. Most of the time.
There is always time for them to throw a spanner in the works.
Oh, yes. Ooh, looks like ZChaotix went the wrong way off the tunnel, and indeed, Spider Ball is in Underground Tunnel. So, with that, Screw Attack is in play, which means, and with Space Jump, we can now we could just about full clear labs with the exception of Storage C.
Speaking of useful Emerald hints, it was a joke.
By this point in your run, no, Dark Aether's atmosphere is dangerous. Alright, ZChaotix has picked up Space Jump. But yeah, I would definitely agree that that Dark Aegon so far has been very, very rude. Because, you know, you had to go to Incash 4 to pick up Boost Ball, then go back to Junction Site for, not Junction Site, Crossroads for, Space Jump, and then you had to go to Underground Tunnel to get Spider Ball to go back for Screw Attack. Although technically you could have gotten Spider Ball first, actually, because Boost wasn't in Cache 4. So yeah, it was Boost to... technically it was Boost to Spider, then Space Jump, ideally. But then again, race ROMs don't have a spoiler, so this isn't even a ROM. Technically, it's called an ISO. Whoa, ZChaotix cutting it close, getting to the broom closet. And that's another Sky Temple key in the broom closet. Sky Temple key 2. It's a good idea to keep an eye on which key numbers we have now, because we now also have in version 2.0 proximity-based hints. And if a proximity-based hint specifies a specific Sky Temple key, it helps to know what that Sky Temple key was. And again, I thank the Emerald hints in Lower Torvis for bailing me out, because that particular hint pointed to Annihilator in reference to Sky Temple Key 1, and thankfully I still had the hint for that scan in my logbook.
Yeah, any hint that makes me do work I don't really agree with.
Yeah, they do make you think a lot more with these with this new hint system. AeroRaiser has stopped a moment. I'm sorry, I interrupted you. What were you going to say?
I was about to say, I remember a multi-world where it's like, this item can be found 3 rooms away from this room. And I'm like, where's that room? Just scouring Emo Tracker, looking at all the room names. Turns out it wasn't even in the same zone as what I thought it was.
Alright, so AeroRaiser is a little concerned about performance on their system, so they're doing a quick game restart to hopefully sort it out a little bit. So that was what the safety save was for. So no progression lost. AeroRaiser's just stopping to reset for safety, for game optimization purposes.
Yeah, I do think the Dolphin is probably one of the most like computer-intensive, quote-unquote, emulators to run.
Yeah, you definitely need to have some do some workarounds with it, because yeah, even my it's a laptop, to be fair, but it's got a laptop 1080 GTX, and it still has trouble with maps. Because, yeah, maps in particular was what AeroRaiser was concerned about. And, yeah, Dolphin does not like maps, just because of how they're drawn in the Prime games.
Yeah, you also find that Taurus, particularly water sections, completely drag the performance down as well.
Yeah, distortion effects in general are a huge problem for Dolphin. Portals are a good example as well. Lightning Rain in Sanctuary. AeroRaiser appears to have not grabbed Screw Attack yet. Looks like it's going to maybe go check Hive Chambers first. And again, we'd like to remind the audience, Dark Aether's atmosphere is dangerous. ZChaotix's health a little less than cozy, so electing to take out the Sporbs here in order to get around. Unfortunately, there is a Grenchler nearby. Now, that Grenchler is actually very dangerous right now, because 2 bites from that Grenchler will kill him.
I don't know what it is about Grenchlers, but they absolutely terrify me.
They are a very nasty creature. Alright. AeroRaiser has picked up Transport A access missiles and will proceed. Actually, no, that was a Sky Temple key, excuse me. Now, I don't remember what was in Transport B access here, so hopefully AeroRaiser gives us another peek. It's definitely not Light Beam, because it's not glowing like a Christmas tree.
Again, I think it was just missiles.
Okay. I do believe, I'm not sure if this slope jump is in logic in beginner settings. It might be, but I'm not sure. Most runners tend to use it anyway. It's certainly faster if done well.
Yeah, it's probably one of the first slope jumps I learned how to do. I think it's just a convenience factor of it. It's such an easy setup to do. And sometimes that's a really good item in there. I found progressive suits up there quite a lot.
Oops, ZChaotix got Prime 1 drop systemed a little bit here, and is cutting it a little close. Ooh, yeah, there's that gold drop. But it looks like ZChaotix is just going to yeet to the save station. AeroRaiser has chosen to pick up Cannonball.
That poor wasp never knew what hit him.
And yeah, ZChaotix is on their way to pick up. Oh dear. Yeah, that room gets a little nasty after you kill Jump Guardian. And once again, revenge of the Prime 1 drop system, because ZChaotix has to kind of wait a minute for energy, and there is a Warrior Ing nearby. He's not going to make it. Ooh, but I do believe he just safety saves, so that's okay.
Yep, Dark Aether, no energy tanks, no suits. It's pretty dangerous.
Not just but because this is the second run through of dueling range, the Lightbringers are not there. So you have no additional safe zones. And you have to just gun it and hope that the you just have to hope the drops favor you better. And there's also 2 Warrior Ing here, so watch out. Arrow has not picked up any power bomb tanks yet, but
yeah, so I think Aero's now doing the GMC compound loop.
yeah, there weren't any power bombs. Yeah, there weren't any power bombs here either. But without Screw Attack, AeroRaiser cannot check Wind Chamber Gate. Doesn't have a power bomb tank anyway to get through Wind Chamber. But however, can
one power bomb. Is it Dynamo?
Central Dynamo, but that needs a power bomb to get. So yeah, I'm trying to remember where the first power bomb ZChaotix picked up was. It was in. I'm not sure actually. But AeroRaiser can go ahead. That's the right one. Hive Chamber B is the one I'm thinking about. ZChaotix has a bunch of expansions right now. 3 expansions. We haven't found the mains just yet. AeroRaiser taking an alternative method for getting on top of the ship. Normally, the best way to get up there is just to jump from Grand Windchamber's doorway. Which I am surprised he's not doing. There we go.
I usually just jump from the red door.
Yeah, the red door or the yellow door, either or. Now we'll see where ZChaotix decides to go next. Lab sounds like a really good idea right now, just because Screw Attack makes bioenergy production a cakewalk. Screw Attack is a valid option against Dark Stamus 1, although we have ZChaotix has power bombs, so that won't be that much of a big deal.
Yeah, I was about to say he has an additional 3 power bombs to use, so.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure why Arrow's spending so much time on this when the closer ledge is right next to the missile door. Because this is unfortunately burning a lot of time for him. Well, whatever is there, I'm not 100% sure. You can get a visual on it for just a split second if your height's high enough, but it looks like I have no idea what it is. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I can't see it. Let's see what ZChaotix finds in labs. Is electing to check. Oh my goodness, that is an Annihilator Beam. Well, that'll complicate things.
Well, that's why Aero was so insistent on getting it.
Looks like it. But Annihilator is pretty interesting. With Screw Attack, that puts Incash 2 into logic.
The also concern is if Chaos goes round labs and then tries looking in the dark world for maybe light beam, that Annihilator could potentially be his way of getting out.
Yeah, that is actually a problem. It could be Light Beam and Incash 2 for that matter. First Aegon key finally found in Storage B. I just realized something. With Annihilator, well, we still need main power bombs technically, but Grand Wind Chamber is in play. Alright, let's see what Arrow's doing here. Might be checking Phazon grounds? This is incredibly dangerous. Oh, wait, Annihilator Echo gives them Profane Path, too. This is perfectly in logic right now.
You just have to avoid the dark pirates that are around.
Oh, just got tossed off the ledge by a Dark Beam shot. Arrow's being very patient with this, and I don't blame him. Actually, X-Pro, this is in logic with Emerald Translator. And ZChaotix finally finding an energy tank in bioenergy production.
The good old vanilla E-tank.
Annihilator...
Social comfort going up for Dark Samus though, because Dark Samus hits like a truck as well.
Absolutely, yeah. Annihilator Beam's not locked behind Power Bombs. It's locked behind Jump Guardian, which is free right now, so... Because, yeah, you don't need Power Bombs to get onto the ship. You just need normally Space Jump. Does Screw Attack get you back to GFMC in logic? Yes. The gate can be destroyed by Screw Attack as well. Oh, so in that sense, yes. Annihilator Beam is in logic via Screw Attack. So you don't need main Power Bombs for that. I'm sorry, I misinterpreted what everyone was basing the logic off of. But yeah, that's what it is. Did Arrow get the item? I completely blinked and missed it.
Yeah, I missed it too. I was not paying attention.
Oh, it looks like AeroRaiser bailed on it due to health issues, which, again, I don't blame him. Again, the tankless Dark Aether is just painful. Really, no matter what your level of experience is, let's be perfectly honest. AeroRaiser better not be thinking about shocking the audience. There's our second Aegon key in sand processing. And again, a reminder to the audience, Mining Plaza is in play right now once we get that last key.
This is where Dark Samus has it. I never like, right? Okay, go do Amorbis then.
Yeah, chat mentioned it earlier, but it looks like ZChaotix just had a blast with Dark Samus. Annihilator Beam also works because it does 10 times the normal damage, for some reason. Uncharged Annihilator,
Strangely,
to be fair.
Dark Samus is like weak against both light and dark in this phase.
Actually, she takes neutral damage to light and dark in this phase. She's weak to dark in 2 and 3. And that might be the last Aegon key, and it's perfectly in logic with Spider and Boost. Indeed it is. All the Aegon keys were chilling in Aegon.
All sitting in labs too.
That's very true. We could have chats pointing out Lightbeam could be on Amorbis. Entirely possible. I'm
Yeah,
also,
we didn't have time to Dark World here.
I can also confirm whatever was in Mining Plaza was an item, because I heard the audio cue for it. So alright, that's the first Powerbomb ZChaotix picked up. AeroRaiser just finally picked it up. Sure, would have liked to have it earlier.
Oh, I thought Aero had already picked that one up. I didn't realize he hadn't had any at all.
No, yeah, AeroRaiser just never went back for mining station access after picking up Space Jump. Hasn't gone back for Screw Attack yet either. But yeah, that was a very interesting labs dive. It had pretty much nothing but keys. One moment.
Oh, and Super Missile, that's a good one.
Alright, so Supers in Central Mining?
Oh yeah.
Oh my. That is pretty big. That is a large amount of Torvis available now.
That Amorbis blade could just be our entire red herring at this point.
It could be. We now have access to Torvis, the Torvis section of... actually, technically we don't have access to the Torvis section of Temple Grounds yet. We can get to it via a slope jump, but we're still looking for Lightbeam or Amber Translator. And it looks like there's another energy tank in Doomed Entry, and we know ZChaotix is not... ZChaotix is going to be stuck here unless Lightbeam is vanilla.
So just out of curiosity then, using the Super Missile to get Battlegrounds with his health setup and suit setup, is that required or not? Or
I think it is. I think it is possible to get from Battleground to Warriors Walk in this scenario, especially with Boost. You can actually take very little damage. Warriors Walk actually is in play, but only from the other side right now because we're still missing Light Beam. Because we can't get both of the Battleground doors are light locked on the north side.
That is true.
Ooh, that lightning did a lot of damage. The lightning does damage, I think, per frame. So if you just tickle the lightning, you won't deal a whole lot, but if you're like right in the center of the gate when it goes off, you'll take a bit more. And ZChaotix is finally going to get to scan this main energy controller, hint that at this point is pretty much a thanks game. But is electing to not go for Vanilla Light. But if this is a play to GFMC, ZChaotix will get Annihilator Beam. Which I think only, again, opens up more questions than answers.
Where is our Light Beam?
Although, with Supers in tow, Amorbis did just become a lot easier. Normally, Amorbis is pretty troublesome without lighter Supers, but Seekers are a good alternative as well, because you can start the Seeker chain while Amorbis is underground, but at the same time, it's still not as pleasant as Light Beam Supers. Oh, these two pirates are being really argumentative with AeroRaiser. Yeah, don't let that turret health go to 0 because that will kill you.
I've got to admit, I don't think I've ever died in a turret, so I didn't know that happened. Doesn't it
I
just eject
have.
you?
I have, and it was entirely because of my own stupidity. I aimed the turret in Sank Entrance too far down. Twice.
Just a bit of self-destruction there.
Yep. So yeah, that was unpleasant. And again, ZChaotix demonstrating that Screw Attack does work there.
Not the strangest thing I think Screw Attack works on, but definitely up there is the gates and main reactor. If you don't have Dark Beam, you can Screw Attack them.
Oh yeah, that's probably the weirdest one. Kirby Master was doing a high difficulty seed where that was required. A couple of weeks ago, I think it was. Looks like Arrow trying to conserve Dark Beam ammo, but it's not gonna... Annihilator Beam by itself is... without charge isn't that brilliant, and that is an Inghive key in Grand Wind Chamber, so thankfully, pretty much useless. Especially since we have Screw Attack and Annihilator Beam, we absolutely don't need those.
Yeah, unfortunately, Aero just went in, saw it was a key and left. He didn't bother to scan it.
Well, Arrow is going to be able to pick up all 3 labs keys here. Light ammo tank in Wind Chamber Gate, nothing of particular note there. And unfortunately, Arrow's going to have to turn around and go backwards, because the crystal switch hasn't been moved yet. As has been the befuddlement of a lot of runners, myself included.
You forget there's a block at the other side that you need to open.
Actually, I just realized something. I think because AeroRaiser reset at the 30-minute mark, that might have cost him his cannonball, but I'm not sure. I don't remember when AeroRaiser picked it up.
Yeah, I think it did. But then again, my memory's not the greatest.
Yeah, the other thing is, again, Arrow's trying to conserve Dark Beam ammo, but again, Annihilator is actually, uncharged or ammo-less Annihilator is just way slower than Dark Beam in this case. Dark Beam does 15 damage normally, 30 to vulnerable enemies. So 2 shots will kill a pirate. And we're going to see Profane Path from ZChaotix.
Yeah, thankfully he has less of a health issue to worry about, as he does have 2 tanks.
But it is only a light ammo tank. Oh wow, that Dark Pirate Commando is being real argumentative with ZChaotix, but ZChaotix is going to gun it to Phazon grounds. This is in logic with Screw Attack. And whatever is in that area, ZChaotix is not getting for it. So the GFMC side of Sky Temple grounds not paying anything out despite our early access.
So I think this will answer a question in the chat about Dark Suit logic. The Screw Attack makes you take Aether damage as if you had Dark Suit. Am I correct?
Close to. I think it's 1.4 per second compared to 1.2 with Dark Suit. Oh, Bash Prime is enlightening us that it is 2 damage per second, so still less than Various Suit, but considerably more than... Not considerably, but a bit more than Dark Suit.
Yeah, definitely not as scary as 6 damage per second.
Indeed. But it looks like a dark ammo tank in storage C. ZChaotix did not check that due to not having super missiles until noping out of labs at Central Mining Station and picking them up there. Do Dark Suit and Screw Attack interact to reduce Dark Aether damage even more? I don't think so. I think only the more significant damage resistance buff takes hold, so that would be Dark Suit. I think AeroRaiser just realized the platforms aren't lined up correctly. Has to do a little bit more finagling.
Will definitely be worth it though to get your first energy tank.
Yeah, considering energy has been plaguing AeroRaiser through the entirety of the seed, definitely a welcome sight. Ooh, Bash is saying pushing updates to the Prime 1 randomizer. Bash, if you would like, please do tell us what we could expect to see in the Prime 1 randomizer soon.
I would say we could all do a race after this, but there was in fact another Reckless race after this.
Indeed. So what ZKX has done there is, I don't know if it was through standable terrain or a slope jump, but ZChaotix has made it to meeting grounds without light beam. And this is still good, not a bad idea, because this does give us 2 hints, with supers in tow especially. And we see the Annihilator beam. And we see that Annihilator... Oh, we can do that too. But Annihilator is in Temple Grounds. Thanks, game. And looks like ZChaotix is going to go check the Path of Eyes hint. And the keys to Dark Aegon Temple can be found in Aegon Wastes. Thanks, game.
You see what I mean? Some hints are just, some seeds is just utter garbage.
It really just depends on how soon you push the hints, if you ask me, because I say the earlier you push, the better they'll be. No, Arrow stopped. I think Arrow is very confused. And if I were in his shoes, I would be equally confused. But yeah, ZChaotix is going to make the daring play to check hints with only 2 energy tanks. This is absolutely doable, but is probably going to require ZChaotix to wait a bit or farm some health.
Yeah, the good thing about things like hints is you can just write them down on a piece of paper.
And I do suspect that is what Z's going to do. I didn't see. Did Z safety save at the ship?
I don't remember.
Chat's saying he did, and unfortunately ZChaotix is getting Seeker missiled. A little.
That bottom right one is not liking him.
No, it's not that. Z's looking for health drops at this point, not getting them. If I had known what the situation was going to be regarding Cannonball, I probably would have gotten Cannonball and then saved, gotten Cannonball, and then gotten this. That way you can save scum your Cannonball and come back for it later, because I'm a little worried Z's not going to have enough health for this, but let's start writing stuff down. In Cache 2... Sand Canyon, that's not too bad. Grove, that's free. With Light Beam.
I'm starting to notice a theme here. this going to be a go mode light beam seed?
That'd be really weird if it was. Venomous Pond, that's actually not too bad either. Hive Dynamo, Spider Guardian required. Plaza access, that's pretty good, but he can't get the other key.
Teased and then denied. So is that the last key?
There's one key unknown still. ZChaotix could not scan. Actually, we have two potential hints as to where it could be. It could either be in Battleground or it could be in a Cursed Lake. Because
Yeah,
we
we
do
did get
know
that earlier for a generic key, didn't we?
we did, and Dark Visor is going to be required anyway since Hive Dynamo works is the ink cache. Solid Dark Samus 1 fight from AeroRaiser despite having not being able to use power bombs.
Come on, Seekers, you can do it. That's attempt 3.
Yeah, I think from this one you have to fire at close range rather than far away, just because of where that upper switch is facing in terms of the ceiling. There you go.
It might just be a case of it's hitting the side of the top instead of coming up from underneath.
Essentially, yeah. But it looked like an expansion, so Z's not picking it up.
Yeah, another one of those pesky light ammo expansions.
Yeah, we're doing fairly decent on beam ammo at this point, especially Dark. Although beam ammo is not as pretty solid with final bosses enabled, because Annihilator spam on Emperor Ring 1 is one of the best forms of DPS, next to integrating a Sunburst at the start. But yeah, I think at this point... Now, what AeroRaiser has to do here is, AeroRaiser triggered the Dark Samus cutscene, but has to leave the room and reload it.
Yeah, the crystal switches don't work after that cutscene for some reason. I wonder why it's coded that way, because it's not like you have Dark Beam going into that. Or you should have had Dark Beam coming into that cutscene anyway.
I'm not sure. But yeah, at this point, our Go mode currently consists of Dark Visor. I'm trying to think if main power bombs is required. None of our keys besides Hive Dynamo works are in Sank. In fact, I'm almost willing to bet that a Curse Lake is a Sky Temple key as well, because we already know one red key is in Grand Wind Chamber. So, there's 5 red keys unaccounted for. But 2 keys are hinted in those key bearers, so yeah, there's a fairly high chance, 1 in 3 at the moment, that one of those 2 is a Sky Temple key. And ZChaotix took another look at Mining Plaza, but I still didn't... It looked like an ammo tank to me. And, Bash is saying that some Randovania-style patches are going to be implemented in the Prime Patcher in the next update, which is cool. You know what else we're missing that would really make things easy for a little more interesting for us is Amber Translator. Because we haven't been able to check the 5 Amber hints in Aegon or the Sand Cache. This has just been a very slow seed just because of the lack of light beam. We'll see where ZChaotix decides to take this, if he chooses to make a Torvis play or to fight Amorbis.
I actually think not having light beam makes Echoes more interesting, because you have to use more obscure routes to get to anywhere.
Oh, absolutely. But it is definitely slower for combat. I think we can all agree. This is going to be AeroRaiser's 3rd Aegon key, which will put Amorbis in play for him. And we have had Amorbis in play for some time. I think the last upgrade, technically we got Space Jump before, after Space Jump and Spider Ball. That's basically all we needed to get the keys. So at this point, I would say, oh, this is tough to say because with our current equipment, we can check. In Torvus, specifically. In Logic, we can check Path of Roots. We can check... we can look at Portal Chamber. We can get Great Bridge out of Logic. What's in Warrior's Walk down here? We're finally going to get a look, and it is an energy tank. I would wager Z's going to get that.
Yep, it's going to cost a bit of energy, but then you get your energy back. Yep, definitely worth it.
That is not Light Beam in Battleground. In fact, I think it was Sunburst. It was definitely light related.
Come on, that's just mean game.
That is. That's just nasty. And again, we'd like to remind the audience, In Cache 2 is in play, but it is a Sky Temple key. So, ZChaotix is going to wait on that. And I think we're going to see Amorbis. Now, Amorbis, deal with this guy is, first phase isn't so bad. It's the second and third ones you want to keep your eyes peeled on, because the reason why we call Wormrave, Amorbis Wormrave, is with 2 or 3 worms on the sphere, there's a potential, very high likelihood actually, for Amorbis to pull off a heavy-duty beam laser attack, which takes forever and is uninterruptible.
And he's also invincible during it as well, so you can't even just weaken him.
Nope. Now with super missiles, thankfully the jumping phase is not as bad, and in fact, as we had alluded to earlier, seeker missiles can lock onto Amorbis before they unburrow. Now ZChaotix, I assume, will attempt to. Whoops, that super missile missed. And there you go. There's Wormrave. That laser does do a decent amount of damage, too, if you're in it for more than half a second or so. But yeah, this is what we were talking about. Amorbis is invincible, and Amorbis is just not cooperating with ZChaotix here. And we are going to see an attempt at a worm skip here. Now, what ZChaotix has to do is dash over to the other worm, lay a bomb, and so because ZChaotix defeated the second worm before the first one got back to burrowing, the cutscene for the first section of the fight got skipped, and if Phase 2 is completed again, the fight will just end. However, worm skip cannot be performed a second time, because if it is done a second time, the game will soft lock. So ZChaotix has successfully set up Worm Skip. Now, a tip, if you do want to prevent Wormrave from actually taking place, would be to actually get up close to Amorbis and force him to swipe at you. Because they will prioritize that attack over Wormrave. What does Amorbis have for us today? The answer is... Dark Burst! Ja-baited.
Yep, definitely the red herring there with all those keys I'm sitting in labs.
And ZChaotix must have definitely saw an ammo tank or something in Mining Plaza, because ZChaotix is not returning the Aegon energy. Because, yeah, the thing about Mining Plaza, for those who are not familiar with it, is that you do have to, return the Aegon energy, and the reason for that makes sense, actually, because it lightens up Aegon, and by extension allows the solar lenses to actually work. To answer your question in chat, there are a couple of items in the front of Torvus that are accessible, including Path of Roots and technically Torvus Temple by extension. Because Slope Jump Screw Attack is enough to get to the top of Great Bridge in beginner settings. So Torvus Temple is in Logic, Torvus Energy Controller is in Logic. So there are 3 items in Logic in Upper Torvus. But that's it. We need Gravity Boost technically for Torvus Lagoon, although that can be acquired with Air Underwater. But it looks like AeroRaiser is going to push for a Vanilla Light Beam, which AeroRaiser was going for this earlier but aborted it. So we'll see. Because we've also been having that problem persist for a bit. We could have a Vanilla Light Beam. We did have it show up 1 or 2 times this tournament.
It's one of these things is like, I think having Annihilator Beam as a way out, as a just in case it's not actually vanilla.
Indeed. Now, unfortunately, if Annihilator Beam, or if this is not, AeroRaiser may just want to Screw Attack past the in clause here, but, okay.
Also, ZChaotix may be joining AeroRaiser in this theory.
Certainly might be going for in cache too, just get that Sky Temple key out of the way. But yeah, I am genuinely interested in where this light beam is at this point.
And Jojo, our tracker, suggesting that Aero didn't pick up Screw Attack.
That is a good point. Aero did not pick up Screw Attack yet.
I almost thought that was a requirement. If you found Screw Attack early, you went and got it because it's so useful.
Yeah, I am still very surprised AeroRaiser has not chosen to go back. I sincerely hope he didn't forget. Ooh, the Night Barb's being a little uncooperative. This is one of those occasions where I would actually say Dark Burst is very useful. Is an STK light locked? Let me think. What have we got so far? We have Incash 2, Sand Canyon. So yeah, it's light locked. We also have a key in Plaza Access as well.
It's not quite Light Beam.
Which one? Sand Canyon or Plaza Access?
The vanilla Light Beam.
What was it?
Sonic Boom.
Oh. Oh, these super combos are just trolling our runners right now.
Did Aero do a safe to save coming through here?
I'm not sure.
Because Aero went in and grabbed it, and the door locked behind him. And it's obviously a Light Beam door, so he couldn't get out.
This is getting nuts. So at this point, it is a safe bet that Light Beam is in, actually, yeah, Light Beam has to be in Torvus at this point, because Sank Entrance is out of logic without main power bombs. But it looks like Aero did safety save at the save station. I hope so, at least. Yeah, 2 energy tanks definitely saved at the save station. ZChaotix, I think, got the STK. I see 3 on the tracker. Okay. Thanks, Jojo. Is Sank Entrance Stamble Terrain not beginner? I'm not sure, Aaron. But yeah, right now we are down to... What are they looking for right now, to answer a question in chat? They're looking for Light Beam. Or Help. Yeah, Help is a good answer, too. We got Amorbated. Amorbis had Dark Burst.
Vanilla Light Beam had Sonic Boom.
Yeah, so we're getting trolled left and right this seed, and we do technically have one Sky Temple key unknown. ZChaotix couldn't check the last Sky Temple key hint before taking a KO, so... but we suspect it's either in a Cursed Lake or Battleground, as those key bearers have enlightened us to the fact that those are both keys. Yeah, AeroRaiser, you can't get back to GFMC without Dark Visor. At least not from this direction.
Nope, we need to go the long way around.
But yeah, right now I think it is down to those... actually, Lower Torvis is also in play because we can get to Torvis Temple and therefore lower the force field to Lower Torvis. So Lower Torvis is in play as well, but gravity-less, unfortunately. Spider Side is currently blocked by light doors. We can get to Sank via Vault Side. So Sank actually is in play. So if we can get there from Vault Side, we have Echo and Screw Attack, so we can actually get to Upper Vault Side through Staging Area. It's possible that Blog has Light Beam. Yes, but not unless we find Gravity Boost. Is Aryan logic? Yes. Light Beam is not required to get from Vault Side Sank to Spider Side Sank. You only need Dark Beam. And from Spider Side, you can get to main gyro. So yeah, Light Beam could absolutely be an Airy right now. Oh, and Dark Zero does point out that because of that whole rig around the rosy for Vault Side to Spider Side, we can get to Sand Canyon via the Sank to Aegon elevator. But we haven't found main power bombs yet, so technically that's out of logic.
And this is what I mean by Light Beam locking off some seriously interesting route.
Yeah, I'm just more confused than anything at this point. Although, to be fair, we have had the ability to explore a good chunk of Torvis ever since Super Missiles, which we picked those up about almost 40 minutes ago at this point.
Yeah,
and actually, I just realized...
Amorbis.
Come again?
Yeah, we got them just before the Dark Labs exploration in the Amorbis fight.
Yeah, and I just realized, actually, Area is still out of logic without main power bombs, but we could still find main power bombs first, and if we find main power bombs first, we're in big trouble. And Quad is dead. We already confirmed Quad was a missile. That's the only guaranteed boss hint we got so far. We haven't gotten the Umos 2 hint. We haven't gotten the... Those are probably in Lower Torvis at this point. But on the subject of Torvis, ZChaotix is going to look around. I have trouble with the super missile door personally sometimes. I think if too much is happening on screen along that super missile, it causes my... There's Light Beam! It was right there!
Well, that's no fun.
We had access to that since super missiles. Ay, ay, ay. We are also still looking for Dark Visor, though, so this is not going to be go mode yet for ZChaotix. To answer your question, chat, Light Beam was in Torvis Temple Access. It was right there. Right past the Torvis door. That looks like a missile tank in the lagoon.
And we also got a hint that Poison Bog is just a missile related.
And yeah, to remind the audience, that Light Beam is in logic right now because a slope jump screw attack is all you need to get from Great Bridge to the upper side, so that way you can access the Torvis Temple access door. The grapple beam is 2 rooms away from a beam. That's not going to do us any good. Which means... Oh, well there it is. Nice hint.
Thanks, game. Thanks, Echoes.
To answer question, chat, Screw Attack was in Junction Site. So Screw Attack was free. Spider Ball was in Underground Tunnel. I'm actually surprised. Arrow still has not gone back for Screw Attack yet. I'm a little concerned he might have forgotten. ZChaotix will grab Light Beam after Torvus Temple. They're still looking for Dark Visor, so they're not in go mode yet, so they'll just go check stuff. Okay, I did not know that worked. You learn something new every day, folks. The slope jump in Great Bridge is beginner difficulty. We had it occur in a weekly once. ZChaotix screw attacked into the pirate sled. Usually I just use a shotgun light charge or a, what's it called? Super missile. Alright, we're going to get an item and a hint in Torvus Energy Controller.
Watch it be Amber.
I would have laughed if it was. Power Bomb is 4 rooms away from Hive Energy Controller. Okay, that's good. That's actually a good hint. So that puts it in... let's see. That could put it either in Hive Gyro or Aerial Training Site. Take your pick. Both are in play right now. So Power Bombs, ZChaotix should be able to interpret that as Power Bombs being in logic at this point. I don't think Hive Gyro is Dark Visor locked. Oh yeah, PBs are in Sank, so Vault Side, there's no way to Sank without, the way into Sank has to be through Dark Visor. Oh, that's actually really good news, because that means Dark Visor can't be in Sank either. So that actually drastically limits the number of locations where Go Mode Dark Visor could be at this point.
I always like to see a seed where I don't have to go anywhere near Sank.
We've had a few, in early 2.0, we had a lot of Sankless seeds in the weeklies, up until about November, where it really started to, where the Sanctuary seeds really started amping up. We do have to go to Hive Dynamo anyway, but we still need Dark Visor, but now we know Dark Visor can't be anywhere in Sank. Since that's the way, well, it could technically be in Sank entrance, but that's it.
Yeah, so you're just going out.
Actually, no, it can't. It can't. Main power bombs are further deep. They can't be in Sank entrance. Never mind. So they can't be here in Putrid Alcove either. And that does mean Aerie is dead. Aerie could have the last Sky Temple key, but we do know that a Cursed Lake and Battleground are both keys. So it's still fairly possible. It's more likely than not that it's in one of those two.
So, out of curiosity, how many energy tanks do you need to fight Emperor Ing without any suits?
Without any suits, I don't know if beginner logic expects that. I know with Dark Suit, I think it's... Dark Zero could probably answer this better than I can, but it's somewhere between 6 and 8. I think.
Because we are still running without having any information about where suits could potentially be.
That's very true. So ZChaotix has just grabbed the Venomous Pond key, and now is going to go get Cache B. Did ZChaotix get Cache A while I wasn't looking?
I didn't see him go in there.
Yeah, I didn't see it either. There's Sunburst! Blocked by a super combo. Okay, all combos. Oops, all combos. Vanilla Dark Visor is still entirely possible, but if that is the case, we need our Torvus keys, and we have no idea where they are. I don't think we've gotten a Dark Torvus key hint yet.
We haven't, no.
ZChaotix very wisely going to take a safety save here. And unfortunately, AeroRaiser still is going the wrong way. Screw Attack is not in Warrior's Walk. Is Light Suit required for this seed? No, as far as we're concerned. Unless the last key we're looking for is Light Suit locked. That we don't know, and it's not in the 2 caches we mentioned before. And yeah, that is a light ammo tank in Battleground, so AeroRaiser is going to fight the ink for it without using Annihilator Beam. Is that Torvus Key Vanilla? Is that Torvus Key Vanilla?
It's definitely key, but...
No, it's not, because the keys are Venomous Pond, Boost Guardian's Room, and Under Temple Access. So no, that's not vanilla. That's normally beam ammo. Never mind.
We'll call it French vanilla.
Fair enough. The Wind Chamber key we know is an Inghive key. AeroRaiser scanned it. Yeah, I'm very surprised AeroRaiser's not Annihilator beaming the light fields. Chica could still be alive. We don't have any intel of where Dark Visor is yet. Now, we already have Echo, so any remaining Visor-specific hints will point to Dark Visor.
Yeah, we found the Visor hint that said that there was a Visor in with Jump Guardian. So that got that one out the way.
Yeah, and the nice thing is that unless an item is on a guaranteed boss hint, it can never be hinted twice. So unless, so we could potentially have 2 Dark Visor hints if and only if Dark Visor is on Chica.
Yeah, because we still have our boss-specific hints to find, because even though we know what Amorbis is, we still haven't found the hint for it.
Yeah, the lack of translators really has made this seed very painful in terms of lack of intel available to us, although to be fair, the lower Torvus hints have been accessible since Super Missiles. Alright, ZChaotix grabbing the Grove key. And technically, those main power bombs are required because Grove and Sand Canyon are Sky Temple keys. That would be an energy tank in Meditation Vista. And ZChaotix is attempting to grab it. ZChaotix may be thinking about doing Suitless Emperor Ring. In which case, I absolutely agree with this. I would not be comfortable doing Emperor Ing Variasuit without at least 5 or 6 energy tanks.
I wouldn't even attempt it.
Because gotta go fast. All right, we're going to get our plaza checks now. We know plaza access is a key, but we don't know about plaza itself. But yeah, given that Dark Visor is currently our go mode, I'm actually trying to think. Yeah, we have Light Beam now, so Torvis is fully... Light Beam was needed to... it wasn't needed to put Torvis in logic, because the logical way for Torvis was the Seeker Door, was the elevator, so never mind. We still don't have the last key hint, but again, we're still suspecting it's a Curse Lake or Battleground. We won't know for sure until we either find it or check those two in caches.
Yeah, maybe Aero will go and maybe get the last hint for us before, or they may just stumble upon it.
Yeah, that is true. AeroRaiser has not seen the Sky Temple key hint, so may enlighten us on this front.
And just seen the Amorbis was not playing nice for AeroRaiser either.
To answer your question in chat, the light fields have no effect on Amorbis. Charged, light charged, or annihilator charged. Is on phase 3 though, so isn't taking too terribly long with this fight. Didn't set up the worm skip by the looks of things. And didn't get worm braved on that much either. Fairly solid fight for AeroRaiser, but is going to be very badly jebaited here.
It's like, surprise, your beam is in another chasm.
Surprise, your beam is in the access way to another temple. And it looks like AeroRaiser does not know about Dark Beaming the crystal to get out, because yeah, you can't get around this way, that's blocked off. So, you have to Dark Beam the crystal to get enough height, or take the energy. Pick your poison, really.
I can't remember if I read this somewhere or not, but does the randomizer still lock you to Aegon until you return it, or is that...
No. That is something that the randomizer does not disables, is that you are no longer forced to return the energy you've collected. That actually is a good point to bring up, because that's something we don't usually talk about in the randomizer.
It's like, I'm sure I ran into it at some point where it's like, yep, you can't leave because I haven't returned the energy. And I was like, oh. And then I'm sure I read it somewhere that they had changed it, so it's like, yeah, you can now leave.
ZChaotix going to grab another energy tank. Excuse me, another energy tank before the Boost Guardian fight. Not a bad idea in case this one power bomb fails. Does have Sunburst, though. That should catch, yeah. Once Boost Guardian goes into liquid form, as long as you lay the power bomb relatively in the center, it's most likely going to hit. Suit!
Definitely happy to see that suit.
Only took it till Boost Guardian. Yikes. Well, that'll make things a little less complicated for ZChaotix, but AeroRaiser is finally going back for Screw Attack. Been fairly silent in the race time chat since AeroRaiser mentioned that game reset about a little over an hour ago. So both runners must be very intensely focused at this time.
Keeping any caution about the seed to themselves for the moment.
I'm sure they have many questions about that about this seed as well. But it looks like we're done with our Torvis dive, so we are going to a gravityless lower Torvis. Here we go. So, for my boss tally so far, the only boss I see that we have to tack on right now is Spider Guardian. So I'm just going to make those 4 eyes a V. Because that's our 5th required Spider Guardian so far. And this is just round 1 of Swiss. Nice Seeker missiles. Ooh, that was close. Oh, chat brings up a good point. We actually technically also need Cobalt Translator too. Unless you want to wall crawl to the Sky Temple key, which I don't think our runners are gonna do. So yeah, actually that actually throws a very explosive wrench into the works, because Cobalt Translator can literally be anywhere except on Sank Map and Spider Guardian himself. That's about it.
The good old Ace Rod hunt is back.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, because I think Cobalt locks the fewest checks in the game, now that you mention that. Besides the individual keys, locking their boss, that's about it. And for those who are not familiar with what Ice Rod Hunt is, in a link to Zelda: Link to the Past, the Ice Rod is useful for 1 check and 1 check only. Or required for 1 check and 1 check only, and that is the boss of the second to last dungeon of the game.
Yeah, I have rage quit more than enough seeds because of that Ace Rod.
So what ZChaotix is attempting to do here is the air underwater glitch by morphing on the same frame as entering the water. In doing so, this will allow ZChaotix to use Screw Attack while underwater, which will allow him to reach the other switches without having to go all the way around. This can take a while because it is a frame-perfect trick in a 60 FPS game. Have fun! Looks like ZChaotix has chosen to abort and just do this intentionally for the time being.
There is some also like some other weird jumping you can do from the top that allows you to get to both sides.
Yeah, something like a... I don't think the trick is called an underwater dash. It's something else. It's something like it, but it's not that. We're going to get a check here of Training Chamber, which looks to be another energy tank. No, it is Dark Visor. So we are looking for Cobalt for Go mode. And there is a translator in Reactor Core. I think ZChaotix just figured out exactly where he's going. Ladies and lads and ladies. Yeah, watch it be Amber. That would be funny if it was. Lads and ladies, the lower Torvis hints playing out in our runner's favor once again.
It'll be Amber, and then you need to go back to Aegon to get the other hints that will tell you where Cobalt is.
That would be hilarious if Cobalt is on an Amber, if there isn't a Cobalt hint on an Amber hint. But yeah, Torvis ended up having all of our goods. It had Dark Suit, Light Beam, and Dark Visor. Which is ironic because 2 of the items are dark and 1 of them is light. ZChaotix is choosing to not immediately go to Sanctuary, despite the fact that this would put him right in front of Reactor Core. Oh, no, he's turning around. ZChaotix was looking for a power bomb. Because I guess didn't want to fight the blogs for it, which I completely understand. Blogs are a pain in the backside. Charged Dark Beam does make short work of them, though, to be fair. But yeah, this seed is suddenly speeding up very quickly, now that we finally found Light Beam. AeroRaiser, on the other hand, is heading towards Sank Entrance. Which we now know is in logic, but we're fairly certain. I mean, it's 50-50 if this is the right translator or not. We will see.
So what can we do to make this seed just a little bit more trolly?
Really, we could just have this be Amber and then have Cobalt be, ironically, non-Amber locked. Like, Storage A or something. Ironically, both of our runners reaching Sank at about the same time. Just from two completely different corners. Oh! AeroRaiser just got sniped by the turrets. And I do not know when the last... Yeah, those deal 20 damage per hit, and I don't know where the last save was. I think the last save was... oh, and there is Cobalt. That is going to put ZChaotix in go mode. Ooh, yeah, Arrow's last save was... after checking Vanilla Light Beam, so Arrow has lost, at the very least, Screw Attack. And actually, AeroRaiser has just entered a DNF. So yeah, AeroRaiser has forfeited. ZChaotix does, however, still have to finish the seed in order for it to count as a win. But with ZChaotix just entering go mode, it won't be much longer.
Yeah, it would just be about a matter of getting around and finding those Sky Temple keys. And finding out what that last key is, because we don't know where that is.
Technically we don't, although I'm still at this point certain, because we can check just about everywhere now. I'm fairly certain it's in one of the two hinted in caches. The last three keys are in Hive Dynamo Works. Let me see. Hive Dynamo. Hive Dynamo, Sand Canyon, and we're not sure about number 3.
Yeah, but we do have those two generic key hints that it's likely one of those. I'm guessing Chaotix is just answering the race time chat.
Yeah, they're just talking with each other real quick. Again, ZChaotix does have to finish in order for this to count.
Yeah, AeroRaiser took just an unfortunate death on the way into Sanctuary and lost. I wouldn't say a lot of progress, but more of a lot of time. Just going around checking things.
Yeah, lost on the only item technically lost in this instance was Screw Attack, but there were also like about a dozen more checks made afterwards.
I think it's one of the things about like all the Metroid series randomizers is if you die in it, it is a painful death, especially if you've not been saving often.
Yeah, ZChaotix will get back in just a second. They're just finishing up the conversation in race time. Oh, I just noticed something. As we're sitting here on the pause screen, the layout has been updated to include our tracker. That was just added. I didn't even notice that. Thank you to whoever does the layouts for these. We should also actually shout out Miss Metroid, because she's responsible for the nice background here that we have. It's a very pretty background, and it's been the background for Prime Echoes Rando ever since last year.
Yeah, I was playing with the idea of having an Echoes background that I could switch to dark mode whenever I switched between the Aethers, and then I figured that would get too annoying.
That would be pretty cool, though. We are joined in the booth by AeroRaiser. AeroRaiser, just GG to you.
Yeah, the death was unfortunate, and I was like, you know what, I'm starting to get a bit of a rhythm, and then boom. Though, I'm thinking back now, I had a much better option. I could have just gone back to Torvis. And probably should have.
Yeah, because Torvis ended up being the play, so we'll ZChaotix is actually in go mode right now.
Okay, nice.
Light Beam was in Torvis Temple Access.
Oh, that's painful.
Yeah, and it's in logic with these settings because you can do a slow.
It's in logic.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know how to get to it. I thought about heading to Torvis and doing all that because I had supers. I'm like, I have supers. And then I went back through here thinking I could go the long way to Torvis, and I'm like, oh, there's a giant rock here. Okay, we'll go to the save station at the beginning of Sank and go to Torvis that way. Dies going through the entrance of Sank. That's fine.
Well, technically, Sanctuary's entrance was through Dark Visor because main power bombs are in Sank. They are either in, well, they're not in Hive Gyro, so they are in Aerial Training Site. We know there are 4 rooms.
Have you found Dark Visor?
Yes, it was in Training Chamber.
Oh, wow.
Lower Torvis. Gravityless, Lower Torvis.
Oh, wow.
And
that's
remaining translator, which happened to be the Cobalt one.
Yeah, we needed Cobalt because we have a key on Hive Dynamo Works.
Oh, ew.
Hive Gyro was a cheeseburger, to answer your question, chat. So that does confirm that main power bombs are an Aerial Training Site.
Yeah, I found 3 power bomb expansions. I felt pretty comfortable with power bombs. I was searching for light beams, so I was like, you know what? I have supers. I can go back to Torvis so I can full clear Agon, because if I leave it behind and something's here, I'll get burned for it.
Well, you both got jebaited by Amorbis Dark Burst.
Oh, yeah, I saw that, and I'm like, oh. I mean, at least the Amorbis fight itself was very solid.
Yeah, your Amorbis was pretty good.
Yeah, well, most of my practice has been movement and execution.
Back in my day, we didn't need hints.
Yeah, routing needs work. A ton of work.
Oh, ZChaotix got elevator randoed. So, one question we are curious about, why did you choose to delay Screw Attack for so long after picking up Spider Ball?
Completely forgot to check it.
Okay.
I was sitting here just mad at myself when I saw Screw Attack there. I'm like, oh, that would have saved so much of my movement. Yeah, no, when I saw Screw Attack there, I was going into the room, and I'm like, now, watch this be Light Beam or Screw Attack and me be angry. Oh, look. Yeah, it was just awfully unfortunate. And after I took the death, I'm like, you know what? I'm kind of hoping he's just in go mode at this point, because that's it.
That actually was the case. Just about the time ZChaotix got the Cobalt hint is when about the time he went into Sank is when you went into Sank the other way and took the KO to the turrets.
Yeah, I didn't realize how much damage those turrets were doing.
Oh yeah, it's painful.
Yeah, though that's some high. I should have just walked in and just fired super missiles and been on my way.
Yeah, a well
because my plan was going get the save room, see any checks I can if I could get anything, and then just go back and head to Torvis.
Well, you wouldn't have been able to. You wouldn't have been able to reach the save room anyway because you need Dark Visor.
Oh, is it Dark Visor locked? Ooh.
Yeah, there's a
Well,
Dark
that's
Visor
unfortunate.
there's a Dark Visor secret door right before reactor core.
Right. No, that's unfortunate.
To be fair, that was again the logical way into Sank this sea because main power bombs are an ing hive.
Yeah. That's cool. It just means I need to practice routing and such and not die in Sank for next race.
Yeah, the energy. To be fair, the early game energy tanks were insanely rude. We didn't see one until ZChaotix finally got to bioenergy production.
Yeah, I forgot the name of the room, but I went to go do the one room with the Echo Visor, and I was like, I don't have the health for this. No.
Yeah, profane path.
Yeah, I was like, I don't have the health for this. It was probably nothing anyway.
It wasn't. It was a which we were surprised at, given that how early it was accessible, because that only needed Emerald Translator, Annihilator Beam, and Echo Visor, all three of which were relatively smooth this
All of
seed.
which were very early. Like, I missed the jump quite a few times to get up there to Annihilator Beam, but I'm like, that's not a missile, that's not a power bomb, so I probably want it. As long as it's not like Sunburst or something, I'm good.
Well, usually it's easier to jump on the ship from the red door instead of the power bomb door.
Oh, I didn't even think about jumping to it from the red door. That probably would have been like a bit easier. Also, making sure not to trigger the cutscene went up in there either.
And ZChaotix has validated.
Ooh, where was that?
Watch station.
Nice.
I'm not sure what ZChaotix is looking for, actually. Oh, opening the watch station portal and maybe hoping to fall upon Light Suit.
Light Suit would be nice.
Light Suit would be nice, but we have no idea where it is.
No, not a clue. Probably find out once he finishes.
And you see that thing glowing like a Christmas tree. That would be main power bombs with Amber Translator right next to it.
Oh, that's horrible. Oh, gosh, this seed. This was bad.
Yep.
I kind of wish I had a kind of more smooth sailing one like yesterday, where I had like 7 of my SDKs in Torvis. I mean, I can't say much. The seed then trolled us and put the last one on quad, but it's fine.
That wasn't the case, thankfully. We don't know what Chica has though. We never saw the Chica hint or the Umos 2 hint for that matter.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think I only got the one for restoring power to Sanctuary.
Oh, you did get the Umos 2 hint.
Yeah, I got it. It was nothing.
Okay.
Missile expansion, I think.
We must have missed it then.
Probably. It was... I think it was... Might have been kind of early. I don't remember. Alright, I'm going to hop out of here. GG's.
GG's to you.
Hopefully I don't die in the next race.
Well, there are still 4 rounds of Swiss left.
There are still 4 left, yep. My goal is to get at least 1. I haven't been playing this rando that long, so... I'm basically taking all my Prime 1 knowledge, which only goes with so far.
Yeah, certainly, if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the Discord. We'll be more than happy to answer them.
Yeah, I got with someone did a practice race yesterday. I'll be doing that quite a bit this week. But, GG's. I'll catch y'all later.
Alright, take care. Alright, so at this point, I think also what ZChaotix is doing is still looking for that last Sky Temple key, which I'm not sure if he remembers the hints. Because ZChaotix knows he's missing a Sky Temple key hint.
Maybe just trying to go around and pick up ones that you know where they are, and just maybe just give your brain time to remember.
Light ammo tank here. The light beam can be found in Torvis. Thanks, game.
Where was that hint earlier? Come on.
Yeah, even if it was on an amber hint, it wouldn't have done us any good. What a mess. I mean, all things... Freezing. Yeah.
Yeah, you cut out a little bit there.
Chat's saying they saw one of the, in the Torvis key hint, that one of the keys were in Aegon, Dark... If it was Dark Aegon, then yeah, it's Battleground. Probably. But, well, we're out of Aegon checks anyway at this point, I'm pretty sure. Except Mining Station B, Storage A, that's about it. But yeah, bosses, the only boss we actually needed to do today was Spider Guardian.
Yeah, Amorbis with that early game bait.
Indeed. Dark Zero, quick question. Is the standable terrain in Aerial Training Site for the Force Field item in Logic and Beginner?
Oh yeah, because I would put Gatekeeper.
Because if that is the case, then yeah, that would actually require Caretaker. Actually, would it require Caretaker? No, you can get there from... You don't need Caretaker. It would just require Echo Visor? Okay. Because, yeah, you can get to main research without power bombs. You just have to, it's one way. You just have to go through the Echo Lock to get back up. So, yeah, that makes sense. Has Caretaker been required in the tourney? Not yet. Caretaker can basically only be required if Screw Attack is on... Logically required, to be fair, if Screw Attack is on Vault Side Sank. Basically anywhere between Aerial Training Site and Vault. And Quad himself, I think. But it's not rare, but it has happened. It's not common, I should say. Sorry, wrong choice of words there. But it's not common to see Caretaker. It has happened in a weekly though, and it sucked.
I thought everyone loved Caretaker. I thought he was such a friendly drone.
Don't even get me started, buddy.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But yeah, ZChaotix having a fairly painless Spider Guardian fight here, and we'll be on the way to get the Sky Temple key. Oh, hello, Light Suit. Well, isn't that just convenient?
This game's getting free now.
Yeah, things just just went downhill as soon as Lightbeam showed up. Now, I don't think Light Suit is required this seed, even by logic standards, because, again, Dark Suit with a few energy tanks, I think in the beginner knowledge and combat difficulty is enough for Emperor Ring. So we certainly have had the energy tanks, but, yeah, that's just convenience at this point.
It is a definite nice to have.
Now, while we have, while we're just wrapping up this match here, if your folks are looking for more Metroid Prime 2 randomizer action, we should be starting up our second match of the afternoon on SpeedGaming 6, if we haven't already, which is... oh, nope, that match got pushed down an hour, never mind. So yeah, we have 2 more matches on tap for you at 3 p.m. on take your pick. You either have Crash Boom Bang versus Kaushi. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. My apologies if I just butchered that. Right here on Speed Gaming 3. And we have Lucarius Line versus Diceron on Speed Gaming 6.
So there's definitely more than enough Metroid Prime apples to get your fix off of.
Absolutely. We've and I have to really give a massive shout out to our volunteer crews for this week, because we're going to end up with a grand total of, I want to say, 10 matches restreamed. Because 3 on Tuesday, plus 2, plus 2, plus 2, that's 9. There's going to be 3 today. We've had 10 restream matches, 2 more on the way. and we've had no issues getting crew for all of them. So I am immensely grateful to our volunteers for helping us make these matches go without a hitch.
Yes, everyone can give themselves a pat on the back to make sure that we get to bring these to you. And it's not just like the runners of the Metroid Prime Discord, but also like SpeedGaming as well for like allowing this to happen.
Absolutely, especially shoutouts to the SG setup staff. And I think ZChaotix ran out of power bombs. Oops. Has to go back and grab one.
And there I was thinking that was just a Metroid Prime incident. But no, it happens in Echoes too.
Yeah, a little bit of a whoopsie moment, but that'll sort itself out momentarily. But yeah, ZChaotix is now going to run for Sand Canyon, and we're going to finally see what's back here in Ventilation Area A after 2 hours, and it's just a missile.
Yeah, I don't think it could be anything important. I think we've got all of our important things, except gravity boost.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious if that were gravity. ZChaotix did need to kill the pill bugs, though, for a bomb drop again.
Time to go hunting for that last key.
Yeah, it's a safe bet it's not in Battleground now, because I think, as Chad pointed out, one of the hints for the Torvis keys mentioned, I think it mentioned Dark Aegon. If it didn't, it's not that big a deal, but yeah, ZChaotix doesn't know where that last key is yet. Could go find out now at this point. But is going to check the 2 checks in Mining Station B instead.
Yeah, I take the opportunity to do it while they're here, just in case it's here.
And that is not it in Mining Station B. Now, at this point, I don't think scanning a Lumineth hint, a lore terminal, is going to do any good, because I don't think the hints can point directly to Sky Temple keys unless they're proxy hints now.
Unless it's going to throw us a curveball and be like, yeah, it's on Chico.
That's the only case where it can point to a Sky Temple key, yeah. But yeah, Lumineth lore hints no longer directly point to red temple keys or Sky Temple keys, which is great, because now it points to a lot more items. So if translators are not such a pain in the backside to come across, case in point today, playing for the hints really does just add extra value to the routing. They haven't pointed to STKs for a while, fair enough. But yeah, now that they don't point to red keys, it just opens up more hints for more useful items. And the proxy hints, which are, again, they're brain rattlers, but they're good brain rattlers. Well, we're finally going to get to see Sand Cache after 2 hours. I'll laugh if this is the last key. Nope.
Who would have thought we had to leave behind that important missile expansion for so long?
Yeah, this has just been, up until Lightbeam, it's just been painful looking for that thing. But after that, yeah, we didn't have to look too hard for Cobalt or Dark Visor.
Yeah, everything sort of fell into place with going down to Lower Targos.
But even still, there was a forced double dip of Dark Aegon, because the logic for what's it called? The logic for Screw Attack suggested that you had to go and hang on. Give me a second. Yeah, the logic for Screw Attack said that you had to go get Boost Ball and Ink Cache 4, go back to Light Torvis, run to Underground Tunnel and grab Spider Ball, go back to Dark Aegon to get Screw Attack out of Junction Site, and while you're at it, also get Space Jump off of Crossroads. Long story short, not nice. I'm actually surprised ZChaotix isn't going for a Cursed Lake at this point. But yeah, no, the logic for Screw Attack was not fun. A forced double dip of any region is just not cool. Almost became a triple dip if you routed Underground Tunnel poorly, which we did find out was the case for our runners today.
Also, the unfortunateness as well about where energy tanks were, it's like you were doing all that double dipping into Dark Aegon with no protection.
Yeah, that was definitely a big challenge our runners. Then they dealt with it fairly well, too.
And it happens as well, where it's like, if you had done Jump Guardian first, trying to deal with all the water rings in the main area, and haven't skipped the light bubble, it's like, yep, you've lost most of your protective zones.
Yeah, no, I do think, ZChaotix is just going to find out where this last key is and then go for it. And ZChaotix can take his time now, but does still have to finish. The best two places for giving this loadout for the last key would have been either Defiled Shrine or Ritual Grounds, because they're right there. More often than not, if I know those are key 9s, I'll just, not get them until the last one. And we do know the last key is not on Quadraxis. It's already been confirmed a missile tank.
The secret door strikes again.
Yep. They're Seeker missiles, after all. And yep, that's the last key hint, and it is Hydro Chamber Storage. Never mind, forget about a Cursed Lake. I can't believe that. I had to throw an extra eye onto Alpha Block at the last second.
We thought we were getting away from it.
Not this time.
Nope, just denied right at the end.
That is 6 out of 10 seeds that we have restreamed in Swiss Round 1 that have required Alpha Block.
Does that not mean we also have to go find Gravity Boost?
Oh, it does. Actually, no, it doesn't. We can get out through Powerbomb Guardian. But that's literally the if you want to go that way.
So suddenly Powerbomb Guardian becomes a thing again.
Yeah, I'm not tracking Powerbomb Guardian, but that's rude. Oh, so right at the
Speed Spider to Spider and Alpha Block and Powerbomb Guardian. That's comical.
Yeah, that is, of course, assuming we don't find Gravity Boost anytime between now and Alpha Block. It could just be in, like, well, we can't access Under Temple access without Gravity, so... Yeah, Dark Serum has a point. You're going to have to fight... You're going to have to fight Alpha Block without Gravity Boost if you want to go that route. I'm not tracking Powerbomb Guardian, because Powerbomb Guardian's not the worst boss ever. Powerbomb Guardian actually could take less than a minute with this gear. But Spider Guardian can take forever. Alpha Block's just a royal pain in the backside no matter what the situation is unless you skip it.
Even trying to skip him, though, setting up that BSG can be a right nightmare.
It can.
Because Alpha Block can just knock you around.
It took me a few times in my week race on Wednesday. Just because I keep forgetting where the platform is. Because it's not in an even spot based on the wall textures. Spider Guardian's okay, especially if you have Cannonball, but I think the reason why we're tracking Spider Guardian is just because last year Spider Guardian was required so much, and this is no exception here. I'm showing half the seeds so far in this first round of Swiss have Spider Guardian required. Cheeseburger, actually Dark Suit was on Boost Guardian. ZChaotix already checked that earlier, but it looks like ZChaotix is doing the air underwater strat to try and get the switches without going around. Because, yeah, that would be painful.
Turns out gravity suits or gravity boost is on the way around to activate the switches.
Gravity boost or to go around the vanilla way, which would be to use boost ball on the cranks in Gathering Hall. Not Gathering Hall, Training Chamber. I always get those two mixed up, just like I do in Prime 1. And before gravity was on UMS 2. Oh, please no. That would be disgusting. Like, we don't have the ability to view the item locations in the credits like Prime 1 does, but that would still be disgusting.
That's a shame, because it's nice to know where some of your major items are hiding.
So yeah, we're still trying to figure this out, or ZChaotix is still trying to figure out air underwater here. And again, this is a frame-perfect trick, which is not easy in a 60 FPS game. I wonder if space jumping out of the water helps at all, like to increase the impact speed. Never mind. Ooh, too high. I think going into Morph Ball, though, is gonna... Never mind. I think, though, taking this Morph Ball cannon is gonna kill the air underwater, and ZChaotix will have to try again.
It's so bizarre how people find these weird effects of the game. Like, hey, if you just frame perfect morph as you go under the water, you get air as if you were and being able to screw attack.
Yeah, actually, Mr. Miguel, in their race last night, did air underwater in Hydro Chamber storage. Because you can do that by morphing as you pass a... Oh, I think ZChaotix may have lost it again. Oh, there we go. Probably had something to do with loading training chamber access. Gathering hall access. These rooms.
Yeah, I don't think, no matter how much Echoes I played, that I could ever remember all the rooms.
But yeah, Mr. Miguel showed air underwater, and it's not even, it's just literally morphing as you transition the room correctly. It's actually kind of crazy how that works. Alright, ZChaotix getting a health and ammunition refill off the ammo fishies. As you do. Look at the light beam ammo. 170, that's ridiculous. We've just been looking everywhere for this last Sky Temple key.
If you collect enough light ammo expansions, you just get the light beam. It just combines into one light beam.
Here's a fun fact, actually. I learned by accident, and was later confirmed to be intentional, that if you fight Dark Missile Trooper, but don't have bombs in your inventory, Dark Missile Trooper will reload. So that item is technically dupable if bombs are late. By the way, do you see a boss there? I can't see through all the fog.
Just a bit foggy, but he is there. How can we make Alpha Block worse? Make him invisible.
Oh, ZChaotix tried to go for a Dark Burst, but fired it a little... fired it a tad bit late, and it only tickled him. But yeah, DMT's layer doesn't deactivate if you don't have bombs in your inventory for some reason. It's really weird, but I don't see, unless that's a suit, I don't see it being particularly useful in this tournament. It does take a couple of minutes to reload DMT as well. Because you have to go all the way to Hive Chamber B and then to unload Hive Chamber A. Although I don't know if you have to also... you also have to watch the intro to Hive Chamber A cuts. It's only just reloading DMT, okay. So yeah, it's not a particularly lengthy process, but you do have to do it. Alright, so Alpha Blog is being really uncooperative right now. Alpha Blog can sometimes deliberately not open his mouth all the way. And if that does happen, case it's happening again too, the super missile won't deal any damage. It's very likely to happen if Alpha Blog is below 50% HP. I don't even think it's a distance factor, I think it's just RNG.
It's just one of these things. It's like, yep. But how do you make the boss difficult? Because obviously he's losing HP. So it's like, yeah, he'll just choose not to do it.
One more super missile here will do it, so... Ooh, just managed to get the shot in as the mouth opened. Very nicely done. Yeah, but now ZChaotix's only way out is through Powerbomb Guardian. This is going to be atrocious if Gravity Boost is here. I think our comp stream may have skipped ahead just a wee bit. Should catch up in a second.
It's happening on the Twitch free stream as well. That's nice.
Interesting. Oh. Okay, it's caught up. There we go. ZChaotix very smartly going after the rear bomb slots first. You know, this room looks eerily similar to Main Cavern in Prime 3, now that I think about it. Because you have the disc up top that crashes onto Powerbomb Guardian and normally falls in Main Cavern. Main Cavern, for those who are not familiar with, is Vanilla Nova Beam in Prime 3. You have the four... you have the four side thingies. You have the disc that falls down. It almost seems like that this is what Main Cavern was based off of. Just food for thought, I guess. This is an item here that is on Powerbomb Guardian. Oh, an arrow has fallen down. ZChaotix fell down. Sorry, wrong name. Nope, missile tank. Also, rip Dark Oasis.
I like the just a bit slow on the turnaround, just to build up some suspense.
But yeah, at this point, ZChaotix can just save warp to return to Temple Grounds. Where was the final key crash? It was on Alpha Blog. Again. We're not sure where Gravity was. That would be nice to know, but I don't think we're going to find out at this point.
Is it not likely to be in Sanctuary at this point?
Could be in Sank. It's probably in Sank some. Yeah, it's probably in Sank somewhere. I just realized, actually, did we even see Plane of Dark Warship? I don't think we did.
No, I think with light beams being so late.
Right. Yeah, we got Light Beam so late, we could never check it. Yeah,
Yeah,
that...
because Torvis got light beam and then went straight to Sank through the lower Torvis, so yeah, nowhere near it.
Yeah, and Light Beam was technically in logic for a fairly long time, because Space Jump was in Crossroads, right? So the logic was, yeah, Dark Beam to Incash 4 Boost Ball to Crossroads to, 1 second. Emerald Translator was in Aegon Energy Controller, so it was in the wrong energy controller. Yeah, it was Dark Beam to Boost Ball to Space Jump, and that's enough to get to Underground Tunnel for Spider Ball to get Screw Attack. Although Space Jump is enough to get into Labs, so you didn't even need Screw Attack for that. So Space Jump to Labs and get Spider Ball. You did need Spider Ball, though, because Light Beam was so late. That was your way into... Oh, ZChaotix is going to grab Cannonball real quick. Not a bad idea. And then that was your way, with Supers, that was your way to Torvis for Light Beam. So yeah, the seed, if this were a spoiler seed, this would actually be really fast, but in this case, everything was in every different possible direction, so not friendly. Amorbis bait didn't help either.
Yeah, all three keys right next to each other in labs. It was a pretty good shoot to go for Amorbis.
Yeah, and the decision to gamble Amorbis is such a tough one, just because of how likely it was that the case Amorbis had progression, but he had no hint. And I will definitely say that, based on my experience, if you do not have the hint, get the key, because you never know. Unless it's an Inghive key, and you already have Annihilator and Screw Attack, or know about it. Fair enough, chat. Fair enough.
Annihilator as well, sitting on top of the dropship in GFNC compound.
That is true, and that was required today because we had a Sky Temple key in Incash too. But yeah, I would definitely describe this seed as not the worst. I mean, technically it wasn't that terrible, but just because of where everything was and how spaghetti the routing had to be, it wasn't brilliant either. And ZChaotix just having a little fun with us and screw attacking the Sky Temple gate door open. You love to see it.
And that is the weirdest thing I think the screw attack actually works on.
Yeah, that actually, that would definitely be in the top 3 for me. I still think the weirdest are the crystal switches.
It's like crystal switches is like, at least there's only one of them. Whereas like, you can screw attack off a secret door by hitting all 5.
But yeah, I cannot wait for this interview. But yeah, I do still find it so weird that for most of the secret locks are weak to screw attack. And ZChaotix is not going for a missile refill before... ZChaotix did save at the ship, so has full power bombs. But yeah, fun fact about that room is that all of the ingworm spheres contain either 10 missiles or a power bomb, depending on which is full.
Look at that health tray. You love to see it.
Absolutely. And yeah, with Cannonball, yeah, this phase is a cakewalk. So yeah, not a bad idea on ZChaotix's part to grab Cannonball, if only for the safety and convenience. I don't honestly think it was faster in this instance, though. I would honestly not recommend going out of your way for Cannonball for just Emperor Ring, unless you are low on energy tanks. Gonna see some screw attack action here on Emperor Ring 3.
That was a weird bounce. Went flying.
Went flying, and Emperor Ing bounced on the air. I saw the shockwave appear airborne. And yeah, if you get bonked a lot by Emperor Ing following a screw attack, you get absolutely yeeted.
So get out of my temple. Just knock him.
That's pretty much what he's trying to say. But that's that's Emperor Ing 3 down, and now it's off to Dark Samus 3. Maybe 4, we'll see. Given the way this seed's been going, I wouldn't be surprised if we get centered immediately. Although, to be fair, Kirby Mesta had a very good Dark Samus 4 skip and did not get centered at all after over a minute being below the threshold, which is very impressive. And I think actually ZChaotix went to grab a little Dark Beam, maybe implementing the Dark Beam strat here. I do also think this is the best rendition of the Metroid Escape tune.
Yeah, I do think it's the best soundtrack in the Metroid series, like the Escape / Fight Ridley background music.
Yeah, Echoes has got some good ones. I do like Quad, and for as much as everybody hates the fight with Chica, the music's not too bad. And yeah, ZChaotix is indeed going to implement the Dark Beam strat. Oh, looks like missed. Oh, here's the thing. That first missile the second missile rather, collided with Dark Samus and centered immediately. That's basically the worst possible center scenario you can get, because now you have to do the whole rest of this. Now here's a tip though, if you do get slammed and flinched by a Phazon missile, you are immune to flinching again for another half a minute or so. So it's not actually a bad idea to intentionally take one of those missiles to the face in order to prevent flinching on the Phazon spread attack. I don't think absorbing more Phazon blobs does any additional damage though, which is a bit unfortunate.
I used to believe that once your beam turned blue, if you absorbed any more, it used to damage you and knock your beam away. So it's like you're always trying to like scoot and grab enough and then scoot away to the side before you get hit.
That would have made the boss fight a lot more difficult for sure.
Yeah, it turns out as a kid playing this game, I was pretty dumb. I see a kid, but I was more of a teenager. And there we have it.
And that is GG for ZChaotix, who will finish in first place with official race time GG time of 2:29:21.
GG to Chaotic. Still sub 230.
Yeah, still sub 230, but definitely a wonky seed for sure. Well, we will see if ZChaotix will join us in the booth in a moment. All right, we are joined in the booth by ZChaotix. GG to you, ZChaotix.
Thank you very much, Cap.
What a seed, huh?
Yes, very what a seed.
So the logic was expecting Dark Beam to Boost Ball to Space Jump and Screw Attack to Super Missiles to Light Beam.
Yep, that's sure what it seems like after I finally went through the super missile door in Torvis and saw the light beam just sitting there in the temple access.
Yeah, we were kind of giggling. We were kind of giggling to ourselves when we saw that. But yeah, I think the ultimate kicker was that the last Sky Temple key was not in a cursed lake.
It was not. I had to go back for that because yeah, wasn't able to scan that last hint.
Yeah, we didn't know it was the last key until you scanned it.
So I also played pretty bad for a lot of that. I think I was making huge mistakes, and I forgot a whole bunch of things like the air underwater in Lower Torvis. I completely forgot how that worked for a minute there. I was like, what am I doing wrong? Among other things.
I'm sorry, say that again. I had to check something.
Oh, I said the air underwater in Lower Torvis was something that threw me off there.
Yeah, it was just unfortunately painful that you had no gravity in time for Alpha Blog, so you had to go the long way in and the long way out, technically.
Knows where it was because yeah, I didn't see it. But technically, it was required, right? Or was it not? Because I was able to
No.
get through Powerbomb.
Yeah, I don't think you're expected to fight Alpha Blog with Gravity Boost in these settings, but you definitely can get out via Powerbomb Guardian, so I think the logic was expecting that, if at all. We have no idea where Gravity was. For all we know, it could have just been chilling in Nary.
It could have been. It could have been in like Storage C. I was almost thinking about checking Storage C.
Storage C didn't have anything. AeroRaiser checked it.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
what else was interesting in that I wanted to say? Shoot, I had a lot of things I wanted to say, but I can't remember because I was frantic during a lot of that, especially in the beginning. Yeah, it was a seed. Put it that way. I'm glad Chico wasn't required.
Yeah, that was scaring us for a little bit when we didn't have a hint for Dark Visor, but luckily, and when we saw the main power bomb in Sank in Inghive hint, that's what kind of clued us in. Is that wait a minute, Dark Visor's your only way in. It can't be in Sank.
Right, right. Oh, I remember one of the things I wanted to say was about the. I picked up a lot of energy tanks because I was thinking about doing Emperor suitless if I'd ever
Yeah,
found a suit.
yeah, we were thinking about that too, but then both suits just so happened to fall on your lap basically while you were doing that.
And yeah, the Boost Guardian suit was immediately after grabbing another E-Tank.
Yeah, although the light suit was pretty hilarious.
Yeah, Spider. What a seed. Yeah, it was interesting.
But
Screw attack in the thing there was nice. I liked that, and I liked space jump at the top of the boost. It was on top of the boost pipe, right?
yeah, Crossroads. But yeah, forced double dip of Dark Aegon was a little rude.
Yeah, it was, but it worked. It worked out. It's okay.
But yeah, with that said, you have taken your first win in the tourney. How do you feel?
I feel better that the first one's over, but I feel bad that the seed was so weird.
Well,
And for Arrow too.
yeah, that was yeah, Arrow took a death to the turrets in Sank just before Sank entrance, which
Oh, those
yeah,
things. Don't
yeah,
they hit
those
like 30 or 40?
20 per head.
Oh, okay, 20. Shoot. A little bit less than I thought, but it's still pretty bad.
Yeah, AeroRaiser also didn't have as many, wasn't actively going for as many energy tanks as you were. Your first energy tanks were like in bioenergy production. You went without an energy tank for a long time.
I took a death in early Dark Aeon, I remember that.
Yeah, because
I
you were
was just
trying to
trying to
climb
climb that room, but I didn't get any health drops from the ink pods that were right there.
Revenge of the Prime One drop system, huh?
Yep, for sure.
But yeah, that's what happens when you've loaded that room twice, and it doesn't help that that is a forced double dip of that area anyway, because of not forced double dip, but you get the idea.
Mm-hmm.
Because the second
Oh,
layer, the Lightbringers aren't there.
right, yeah, they weren't there. Another thing that I messed up that I should have done was I should have gone all the way to Incash 1 to check the vanilla light beam so I didn't have to do it again later.
Turns out it
I
just had Sonic Boom.
Yeah, but I'm kind of glad I didn't because then I had the Sky Temple key hint that told me Incash 2 was the Sky Temple key. So I was gonna go back that way anyway to look to see if Light Beam was there, and now I had Annihilator and Screw Attack, and I knew there was a key in Incash 2, so that worked out.
It did. Yeah, that's about all I have to say. Just really after Light Beam, the seed just kind of sped up real fast. Light Beam and Lower Torvus.
Yeah, it did. The slowest thing was going back to check what the last key was, and then having to fight Alpha Blog normally.
Yeah, we were actually very surprised it wasn't a Cursed Lake, because we thought with the keys in Battleground and Cursed Lake that the chance of having the Sky Temple key show up earlier was more in your favor, but that wasn't the case.
Yeah. Oh, the one last thing I wanted to say was about I tried to get some extra dark ammo right there at the end before Dark Samus 3 and 4. But historically, whenever I try to screw attack her, she centers immediately, and I was going to just dark beam try to kill her, but then I thought maybe I'll just try a screw attack one more time, and then she instantly centered like usual.
Well, what happened was the second missile you shot actually hit her directly, and your screw attack actually missed.
Oh,
So
did it?
she was already in center territory right as you performed the screw attack.
Oh, darn.
Yeah, her shield didn't go up before the second missile hit. It can happen, but it's not common.
Ah, well, it's all right. It's over. That's the good thing. So Oh yeah, was this a Diggle seed? Does anybody claim responsibility for
Yep.
this?
I think it was a Diggle seed.
Oh great. No wonder why.
We do have a question from chat. Where did you think Light Beam was going to be? At first.
Yeah, like on different points of the thing, I thought it was going to be in different spots. Like at first, I thought maybe it could be on the ship, and an Annihilator was there instead.
Wrong beam.
Yeah, wrong beam. And then I remembered that I didn't go back and check vanilla light beam, so I thought maybe it's vanilla, and it wasn't. And
Yeah.
one other part, I thought it could have been underground tunnel, since that historically has stuff, and then it didn't have anything. But
Yeah.
it was just a couple rooms over from underground tunnel.
Yeah. But you had to double dip it again because of where Spider Ball was, because Light Beam was not in Aegon, so you had to use the spider track in Central Mining Station. So, again, this logic was pretty rude today.
It really was.
But with that said, folks, Thoris, is there anything else you want to add before we close out?
No, I think we covered everything.
All right, then, folks, stay tuned because we will be back in just a few minutes for another race here on Speed Gaming 3, and that is Crash Boom Bang versus Kaushi. And that is going to be pretty much the same settings with the exception of final bosses off and damage set to lenient for Dark World damage. So that's about it. We also, if you're looking for some other action at the same time, we've got Lucarius Lion versus Diceron, and we got Digglewrath calming that one, so that should be a fun time.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of races coming up right here.
Yeah, we also have Bellator versus Reed Whaley going on off camera today. That will not be restreamed due to the schedule being a little bit packed right now, but we will be sure to let you know the results of that upon the next opportunity. Certainly check in with the Metroid Prime Randomizer Discord for updates on the tournament. The Discord was linked in chat just moments ago. Shoutouts to both of our runners who put on a fantastic show for you here this afternoon. And also, let's take a minute to thank Jojo, our tracker, this afternoon for pushing all of the buttons and making sure everybody knows who has what. And Thoris, thank you for joining me here in the booth today.
And thank you to you as well, Captain. You're not just doing this one, but you're also doing the next one, so be sure to get up to stretch your legs.
I will certainly do so, yeah. That's. I hope that's one of the joke hints that comes in 2.4. Make sure you to get stand up and stretch every 5 minutes, kind of like the rehydrate hint. That'd be nice. But I am being informed that the Diceron Lucarius match might actually be on SG5. So keep an eye on the Speed Gaming channels and the schedule for up-to-date notes on that, for sure. But with that said, folks, thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your day. We will see you next mission, or possibly in 5 minutes.